We finally get into my position. There we are. I found my commentary box now. Oh, it's nice and cool in here. You don't really notice that until you've been out and about. But great to see a very busy grid there, Rufus. And I have to say, it's going to be very, very interesting to see these guys doing such a good job out there on the circuit. But it's so close in this Junior X30 grid. And your teammates are in the mix there. How do you think this is going to work?
Well, I hope it goes well for them. I'm really impressed with Max Mayer this weekend because he's normally doing very well. He's very, very fast in testing, but he sometimes gets a bit confused in the races and might not get the result that he deserves. But this weekend has really shown Max's true talent.
Lewis Gilbert and Mariembourg on the front row. Sam Balota and Josh Rowledge on the second. Enzo Juliet and Remo Kanapik on the third from Max Meyer and Alex Lloyd. Delano Van Hoff and Tom Uzan. Jacek Spinkovic and Laurence Lequelta, who we spoke to briefly on the grid. Josh McLean and Ollie Pilker. William Nicolo and Tom Leben. Ken Oscar Algra and Linus Janssen. Daniel Gregor and Victor Lapardo de la Rosa. Zach Ripley and Josh Ratican. Helen Nordini and Urbelt Moore. From Jason Young, Alessandro Tedesca, Lois Del Bar, Eric Alanis Bosch, Alicia Barrett, Noah Maton, Liam McNeely, Kian Shields and Ronan Patrick Hackala. This is going to be a very interesting battle because we've got 34 world-class drivers on that grid. And as you say, Max Meyer, it's been a really strong weekend for him. He'd be even further up the grid, let's not forget, had he been able to get out in his third heat from pole position. So we're not really sure how far up this grid Max Meyer can go.
Yeah, it was a real shame that Max couldn't start in that race because, like I said, he's been really good this weekend. But I guess that's just the luck of racing sometimes, I'm afraid, so...
That's happened to you on a few occasions, hasn't it? When you've been starting a race and you just end up having to go nowhere. That must be such a nasty moment.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking because you're like, oh yeah, I know I can do well in this race. I know I can do well. And then when you just press that starting button and nothing happens, you're just like, oh no.
Well, that's one polite way of putting it, but obviously it's going to be very interesting in the opening laps of this race. I noticed there are a few drivers out there that are deliberately on old tyres coming into this final. Now, obviously, there's a performance benefit to that in the middle part of the race. In the first couple of laps, that could be a really interesting battle for them.
Yeah, because there's been a few problems with tyres this weekend, I've been hearing, because apparently new tyres, some people can't just get the grip out of them and can't get them to come on, but I think new tyres will definitely be the thing to choose on the start of the race because they've just got so much more initial grip. But I think as the tyre wears out, it will get too hot for the new tyre, and I think the old tyre will gain the time back.
Well, two drivers in particular at the front end that are on those old compounds of tyres are Marty Boyer on the front row of the grid and Remo Kadapik on the third row, sorry. So that's going to be interesting to see what they can do from here. But it's Gilbert, Boyer, Balota, Rowledge, Juliet, Kadapik, Meyer, Lloyd, Van Hoff and Uzan in that top 10 with plenty of drivers outside the top 10 wanting to come forward. The waiting is over. The engine revs have risen and we're going to go racing this time. It's going to be a beautiful start from Lewis Gilbert into the first corner and round the outside. Marty Boyer continues to hold the grip and so the two of them look like they're going to get out in front. Third position, Josh Rowledge trying to make his way through around the outside of Sam Balota, and he's made it stick. Great work from Josh Rowledge. Remo Kanapik tightening in behind Enzo Juliet. Everybody's through cleanly the first three corners into turn 4. A little bit of jostling, but that's perfectly okay. No dirty manoeuvres so far as everybody continues. Oh, we got somebody off on the grass there. Now that looks to me like one of the FA racing carts that came off. I think that was Urbelt Moore, the 64, who went off there and has recovered. But an amazing scrap at the front already. It's Gilbert, Boyer, and then Rowledge and Balota. Those four are trying to break clear early doors.
Yeah, I think it's just important because what normally happens is once it starts out the way and everybody settles down, it's just the top 5 that eventually get a gap.
So now Lewis Gilbert doing his utmost to hold on to this lead. He won the final at Salisbury, don't forget. Boyer's going for it early, and Rowledge could go with him. He has done. So Boyer takes the lead. Rowledge in a second. Gilbert straight back on the offensive to Rowledge and Boyer. But Boyer keeps it light on the way through the tight apex, and he has kept it into the lead. But Gilbert's back through. Rowledge is through. Balota is nearly through. Goodness me, Boyer working very hard indeed there, but down to third position. Lewis Gilbert and Josh Rowledge clearly wanting to use their knowledge of their own abilities in the national championships in Britain. They know each other very well, so they will have raced together a few times, so they will want to use each other's knowledge and wisdom to move further forward and get away.
Yeah, because they know each other and they know how each other races from watching back home in the UK. And Mario Boyer doesn't have that same amount of knowledge, so I think that's where he lacks.
Is it always quite difficult when you're the only person from your nationality when you're up at the front and you're trying to look for a colleague to work with, and it's very difficult to sort of break down that communication barrier?
Yeah, it's quite difficult because in every country, from Belgium to Spain and from France to Italy,
That's Rowledge going through. Sorry, Rivers, I didn't want to cut you off there, but Rowledge coming through for the lead. Gilbert trying to get away, and also Juliet, he's up the inside of Marty Boyer. Boyer's going to go the long way round to hold him off. And Remo Kadepik's going to tighten in his grip on the back of Sam Balota. Here come the fusion carts. What a great run this is from Delano Van Toff. He's got in front of Max Meyer. And the two of them, again, teammates working together. And your guys are really, really good at doing this.
Yeah, I think it's just, the main thing is just to work together, and they'll be getting the signals off the grandstand. But I think you work together for the whole race, and then on the last 2 laps, the race is yours.
So Josh Rowledge out in front, second position Lewis Gilbert, third place Marty Boyer, having a great run in the early stages, fourth place Enzo Juliet, and in fifth position Sam Belota, the local man. But the Brits are flying the flag, the Union flag high at the moment from Lewis Gilbert, in second position from Josh Rowledge, with Rowledge in the lead for the Strawberry Racing team. He looks back over his shoulder. Here comes Enzo Juliet on the inside of Marty Boyer, and Sam Belota's going to try and get through as well. Marty Boyer down to fifth position, and here comes Max Meyer. Oh no, sorry, that's Delano Van Toff. Van Toff has gone through past Remo Kadepik, and now Max Meyer will be the next one to charge forward. There's another fusion in there. That's Josh McLean having made some ground. Just looking away through the field to see a few of the others having made their mark on the race. There's a few drivers who are moving forward. Alicia Barrett's made up a few places. Kean Shields made up 5 places as well. 6 places actually. Josh Rattican, yet again, no luck for Josh Rattican at all. He's right down at the back of the field once again. What does that guy have to do to cut a break?
Yeah, I've been watching Josh all weekend, and he's been really fast. He's been catching the leaders. He's as quick as anyone, but I just don't think this weekend's his weekend.
So Josh Rowledge leading the way from Lewis Gilbert, Marty Boyer, Enzo Juliet and Sam Balota in the top 5. And it looks like we've had an off somewhere, as there's one cart all alone down at the back. That is the 90... I think it's the 36 actually. That's Zach Ripley, who's on his own down at the back as Gilbert has taken back the lead. Rowledge trying to get back on the inside. Stop scrapping amongst each other, guys. Just get away. Spend the last 2 laps fighting, but Rowledge wants the lead of the race. Gilbert second place, Juliet, Balota, here comes Boyer, he's going to dive up the inside of Balota, and Delano Van Toff's going to keep the door open and get through as well in the 5th place. Good work from Delano Van Toff. He's really good at sizing up these opportunities. We saw that at Salisbury's in BF International a couple of weeks ago. He was really, really strong there, and he seems to have got it here again. Gilbert up to the lead once more on Rowledge. Then it is Juliet in 3rd position. Well, apparently the warning flag going out to Josh Rattican, so whatever it was that's put him down at the back, he's got a warning flag for it. That's a real shame. That's a bit like being kicked in the ribs when you've got a broken nose, personally. I never like those sort of things. He's already done the punishment by dropping all the way down to the back. We've had somebody off. Now, who's that that's come off there on the far side? Somebody very slow on the way through, about to lose a ton of places as they come through this time by. Who is it that's dropped a long way? That looks like Josh McLean has dropped back into about 26th position. So McLean's had an absolute nightmare on that lap. Several drivers falling down the order, including actually the 19 of Max Meyer lost a bit of ground there, but he is still running around up towards the top end. He's in 8th place behind Balota. Alex Lloyd in 9th, Tom Uzan in 10th. Then it is Nunadini, Algra, Leung, Nikolic, Spinkovic, Pilka, McNeely, Tudiska, Leben, and into the top 20 comes Kean Shields. So he's absolutely on it. That kid has got bags of talent, hasn't he? It's great to see that he's joined the Fusion team.
Yeah, Kean's always been good. He was good with his past team, and I just think he's an all-round good driver. But I just think same with a few other drivers. It just hasn't been his weekend this weekend, and he's just struggled. But I think now he's showing his true talent.
For the lead, Enzo Juliet comes through past Josh Rowledge. He gets the place, so Enzo Juliet hits the front for the first time since the qualifying heats. And now Lewis Gilbert tied into 3rd position as Marty Boyer and Delano Van Toff right in behind him. Remo Kadepik losing ground, trying to make his way through as Rowledge again tries to hold off Lewis Gilbert. Gilbert spends too long worrying about Boyer, and that's going to be Delano Van Toff around the outside of Boyer. What a move from the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, Delano's doing a great job. I just think he's got something in his head, and he's just like, I can win this, and he's just constantly making up ground.
Well, now Lewis Gilbert is there in 3rd position, trying to get back the time he's lost to Enzo Juliet and Josh Rowledge. Rowledge in 2nd place, going good guns at the moment as they continue on in the top 5. But this is the halfway point. At the end of this lap, we will have had 7 done and 7 to go. And this is going to be the crunch time for these guys. Arzo Julier still leads the way here from Josh Rowledge, Lewis Gilbert, Delano Van Toff now in 4th position, and Marty Boyer slipping back down the order. Here comes Delano Van Toff again on the inside of Lewis Gilbert. Through to 3rd position goes the Dutchman. Marty Boyer, meanwhile, has fallen into the clutches of Remo Kadapik. Kadapik's up the inside. Belota's up the inside as well. This is a big problem for Marty Boyer, who has fallen down a couple of places. So it's all going to be very, very tough as they continue to battle away for position. But Marty Boyer has fallen back into the 2nd chasing pack. He's now down to 7th place. So it's Enzo Julier, Josh Rowledge, Lewis Gilbert and Delano Van Toff. But Van Toff has now broken into 3rd position, as we saw on the inside there of Lewis Gilbert. So it is now Enzo Julier, Josh Rowledge, Delano Van Toff and Lewis Gilbert. A great start to this race from these guys. And now they're in the 2nd half of the race, the 2nd phase, if you will. And this is where things are going to get really interesting.
Yeah, because they've settled down into their rhythm now, and then as the laps count down, they're just going to be thinking about defending and keeping their position. But then again, the people who aren't in the lead just need to catch up Enzo Julier.
So this is Remo Kadapik through into 5th position on Sam Belota. Marty Boyer trying to fight back. Alex Lloyd in there as well. They rub wheels for 5th position, Belota and Kadapik. Goodness me, a puff of smoke, and through into 7th has come Alex Lloyd. Alex Lloyd still coping with that incredible hardship. When you're ill and you're trying to be at the front end of this field, it can be so difficult to concentrate. But his determination, his resolve to keep pushing on is incredibly admirable.
Yeah, it's really hard when you're ill, because you're concentrating so much on the racing, and when you're ill you just don't have the brain power or the willpower just to actually get on with it. So Alex is doing a very good job.
The only retirement from the race thus far, up at turn 5, is the German Dan Gregor. So Daniel Gregor, unfortunately, out of the race. But there's your race leader, Enzo Julier, looking to sweep a final victory out from under the noses of the championship favourites. Josh Rowledge in 2nd place, having a great run. Delano Van Hoff in 3rd position. Noah Maton is given the warning flag. Not sure what that's for, but he's trying to charge his way forward. And to be fair to him, Noah Maton is up into 26th place now as Remo Kadapik defends valiantly from Alex Lloyd. That's another frustration for Remo Kadapik. He should be at the front end of this field based on practice on Friday, because he was the fastest driver of all through the practice sessions. Only Max Meyer was quicker than him over the course of the day when we came to qualifying. So Remo Kadapik having a very frustrating day at the office in 6th place, when ultimately, in terms of 1 lap pace, he could be, and possibly you could argue should be, up amongst these top 4.
Yeah, well, Kadapik's had a very unlucky weekend because he spun out on one of the races, and he was very annoyed about that, because when you have the pace and it just doesn't go well for you, it's just so frustrating.
Sam Belota is the new fastest man in the 2nd sector. Noah Maton goes even faster. And as we go into the final 4 laps of racing, Enzo Julier has daylight between himself and Josh Rowledge as Delano Van Toff defends from Lewis Gilbert. But if these guys want to win the race, they need to settle their differences and work together, and that is not happening. So Josh Rowledge in 2nd place is going to have to work on his own to close up on the Frenchman. But Lewis Gilbert working hard. Delano Van Toff just gives him the signal, come on mate, work with me. But you've been there a million times, Rufus, when the guy behind you, you've just been overtaken by them and he says, okay, now work with me. That's the last thing you want to do in that point. You just want to get him back.
Yeah, I just think that's so frustrating when that happens.
Oh, Gilbert's through though. Gilbert has done the hard work there and got past Delano Van Toff. Absolutely terrific there. Up to 3rd position he goes, and really exciting run now for the championship leader back on the podium. He said, anything in the top 3 is good. It keeps my championship points tally high. I'm happy with that. So the man from Dalry has put himself into a good position there in 3rd place. But Enzo Julier leads the way here. The Frenchman out in front of Josh Rowledge and the 3rd place man, Lewis Gilbert. Things going very well for those 3. Looking good at the moment. But here comes Alex Lloyd charging after Remo Kadapik. Kadapik, the Estonian, still running well. But Marty Boyer is stuck in behind them. It's a very surprising weekend for Marty Boyer. But here comes the next man in, Max Meyer. He has got to be one of the ones to watch in these final 2 or 3 laps, because his pace around here is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, Max has done a brilliant job, and I know that he can get a few places on these drivers because he's been driving one of the best that I've ever seen him drive, and I'm really pleased with him.
Sam Belota in 5th position there. Fastest of all in the first sector, Sambalota. So he still senses that fourth position is possible. But all of a sudden, quietly getting on with the job. This man out in front, Enzo Juliet, has been absolutely incredible in the final phase of the day. He's just quietly got himself into contention, not really put himself under too much pressure. The man who was fourth in the European X30 Junior Championship last year. He is the fourth seed, of course. The 14-year-old from Montpellier has done an absolutely amazing job out in front. But Josh Rowledge in second, Gilbert third, keeps the Union flag high on that podium. And on the inside, Dinano Van Toff grabs fourth position back again from Sambalota. These two are having a terrific scrap, but Sambalota cannot get past Dilana Van Toff at the moment. Sixth place is Kanapik from Lloyd, Boyer, Maya, Uzan, Nuradini, Algra, Spinkovic, Leung and Tom Leben. Then we've got McNeely in front of Kian Shields. 17th place. He's gone through half the field.
Yeah, Kian Shields has done a brilliant job because he was near the back after a not very good final one, but now he's showing his true talent and doing really well.
I'll tell you what, the Flying Scotsman flying again. That's absolutely incredible how he's gone through half the field in 12 laps. He's not going to get the top 10 today, but I'll tell you what, you can't hide from me how good that drive is as we go into the final lap. And the man from Montpellier has done an amazing job here. Enzo Juliet fighting back after the frustration of getting into an incident earlier on with Luca Lystra. Now he is in contention, and this is going to be a fantastic end to his race. Enzo Juliet has really risen to the plate in the last race. He's gone on with this so quietly, almost in the shadows with everybody. Oh, there's contact further back. We've got an incident there as Jason Young makes contact with one of the Unique Racing carts and one of the Ike's Racing machines in there as well. I think that was the recovering Ken Oscar Algra in there with Josik Spinkovic and Jason Young. They all got in together, and that's tightened up the field further back. But here comes the Montpellier master. The 14-year-old has done an incredible job in this race. He's driven back from adversity, and now he is the winner here in Mariembourg. Enzo Juliet wins in fantastic fashion. What a drive from the Frenchman. Ah, terrific. Superb racing from Enzo Juliet. Magnifique from Montpellier. Oh, brilliant. Josh Rowledge second from Lewis Gilbert. Two Brits on the podium. Sambalota, the local man, is fourth from Dilana Van Toff. But Enzo Juliet is numero un here in Mariembourg. A fantastic job as the raindrops are starting to fall in time for the Senior X30 race. Oh, thank you for spicing that up. But yes, there is rain starting to fall on the camera lens. I spotted a few drops, but it's going to be an amazing end to the race day if it carries on. But how about that result? Enzo Juliet quietly gets on with it into the victory. Josh Rowledge in second from Lewis Gilbert. Sambalota in fourth from Dilano Van Hoff. Remo Kanapik, Alex Lloyd, Marty Boyer in 8th place, Tom Uzan, and Max Meyer fights back to the top 10. Great job from him. Henry Neradini, and in 12th place, Jason Young. Then it's Leben, Ratikan, Pilka, Nicolo, Hakala, Spinkovic, Tudiska, and Delbar in the top 20. Then it's Ken Oscar Algra, Liam McNeely, Kian Shields out of luck on the last lap, losing a few places again, but still up to 23rd. Noah Maton, Erbelts Moore, Josh McLean, very unlucky in 26th place. Edgar Galanis Bosch, Linus Janssen, a good fight today from Alicia Barrett, the winner of the second chance seat, don't forget. Lawrence Lequerta, so unlucky today on home soil from Zach Ripley, with retirements unfortunately from Victor Pardo and Daniel Gregor. Such a close battle there, Rufus, and what a performance from Enzo Juliet, the Frenchman. He really did a great job there, quietly just getting on with it. While everybody else was losing their head and getting into battles with other drivers, he did an absolutely fantastic performance and really got himself into position. He just kind of crept into that race almost unnoticed.
Yeah, he was driving brilliantly. I just think the key to his win was just no mistakes, just keeping consistent, keeping his head down, not looking behind, and that's just what got him the win.
Fantastic. Well, you have a sit down, Rufus. We'll get ourselves ready for the Senior X30 race, as there is rain definitely in the air now. If it falls during this race or just before it, when these guys are all coming onto the grid with slick tyres, we're in for an amazing battle, aren't we? Fantastic prospect of an exciting race in front of us. So I'll head down to the grid and we'll prepare for the Senior X30 finale, the last race of the weekend.